Morning, students. Today we are going to start page number 78 of the chapter Going Places. Okay, so up to here I have already explained in my previous video, okay, last video, and today I'm going to start from here. He was kneeling on the floor in the next room tinkering. Fine. So, prior to it, I would like to make you one, you can say, quick brief of this chapter, that what is the basic theme of this chapter and up to now what we have read. So, listen very carefully that this chapter, Going Places by A.R. Barton, describes the aspirations and dreams of the youth. Okay, fine, and pain of unfulfilled promises and shattered dreams. Because see, whose dreams are shattered over here? Sophie, and moreover we can say Geoff also, Sophie's elder brother, because he has not completed his education and he has already started to work in garage. And then we have come to know that one girl, Jancy, is there. She has already accepted the reality. She has already accepted the reality. What reality? That she has to work for the biscuit factory. So this chapter is just what you can say, describes the aspirations and dreams of the youth and the pain of unfulfilled promises and shattered dreams. It deals with the complexities of human relationships along with the adolescents fantasizing and hero worship. So we all know very well that teenager age is full of what? Hero worship, dreams, you can say high thinking. Okay, in my previous video I have already explained that in this chapter the message, what is the message of this chapter? That the story seems to hint at you that it is okay to dream, but dream with limits. Okay, but dream with limits. So you have to note down this line in your, keep this note down in your notebook and fix this line in your mind. Okay, always you have to take care of this line, because some teenagers like Sophie get too involved in them in dreams and actually act on them. This is when disappointment makes its entrance into life. Yes, suppose in case if you are not doing any hard work to accomplish that dream, so what would be the result? The result is that you will get failure in it, and it's a very natural what that you would not digest that failure and you would be lost in some, you can say, disappear and sad life. So let's start the chapter. As we all know that up to now what we have read, up to now we have already completed the part. Which part? That at the very start of the chapter we have come to know that Sophie and Jancy are two teenagers. Sophie and Jancy are two teenagers. Okay, and both of them are coming back from school. They both work in a biscuit factory part time. Okay, after school means after school they have to, when they will get result, then they have to work full time. But right now they both work in a biscuit factory. Sophie is lost in her own imagination while coming back from school. Okay, while coming back from school, Sophie lost in her own imaginations of owning a boutique shop and becoming famous like Mary Quant. We have already learned that she would like to be a fashion designer like Mary Quant. Then Jancy tells her not to dream big as it requires lots of money which they don't have to, which they don't have. To this Sophie replied what? She replies that she will become an actress, earn a lot and then own a boutique. Jancy, being a realistic person, does not support her. Okay, her thoughts on reaching home. Sophie, we have read over here what, that on reaching home, Sophie feels shocked in that small house which is full of the stoves steam and looks untidy because of the dirty dishes. And we have already seen what, her father is eating and her mother is busy in the kitchen. So she goes to meet her elder brother Geoff. So in my last previous video, I have asked you this question. What? Why did Sophie go to meet her brother Geoff? And we will see in this chapter that she has a liking for her brother. Why? Okay, and she always she always shows in front of her brother that he is the only person with whom she shares each and everything. So let's start from here. He was kneeling on the floor in the next room, tinkering with a part of his motorcycle over some newspaper spread on the carpet. He was 3 years out of school, an apprentice mechanic traveling to his work each day to the far side of the city. He was almost grown up now, and she suspected areas of his life about which she knew nothing, about which he never spoke. He said little at all, ever voluntarily. So we can see that Job's character is also described over here. Words had to be prized out of him like stones out of the ground. It means Job possesses a very reserved attitude, and she was jealous of his silence. When he was not speaking, it was as though he was away somewhere out there in the world, in those places she had never been, whether they were only the outlying districts of the city or places beyond in surrounding country. Who knew? They attained a special fascination simply because they were unknown to her and remained out of her reach. So see here what is described. What is described over here, that Sophie directly, Sophie means what it, when she feels suffocated. Okay, so she decides to go in the next room where Geoff was sitting. Okay, she has decided to go to meet Geoff. So see, Geoff was in the next room. Okay, sitting with bent knees on the carpet. He was repairing some part of his motorcycle, and he was a trainee mechanic who had left his school 3 years ago. And see, over here, that for that reason he had to travel long distances in search of work and all. Okay, so in search of work, Sophie, so here please note down, and you can note down in your notebook. Sophie was sometimes doubtful about her brother. Sophie was sometimes doubtful about what? About him. Okay, as he did not speak much about his life. Means why? Because Geoff was a very reserved person, but Sophie always had some doubt in her mind. Therefore she always imagined about the way of life her brother led. She was so jealous of his silence because she wanted to know about the places that he used to visit. Okay, over here she thought that they could be some distant places of the city, or maybe some countryside. All these thoughts were so captivating because they were far away. Because see, Sophie has not visited those places. Okay, that's why those places attend a special fascination, simply because they were unknown to her and remained out of her reach. It is the basic reason why why did Sophie want Geoff's, you can say, attention? This is the main reason. Because what is the main reason? Because she thought that Geoff enjoyed his life in the in the, you can say, countryside or some of the places where he used to visit. Fine. So next, further, perhaps there were also people exotic, interesting. See over here, एक चीज़ आपको और मैं समझाती हूँ कि जैसे जो प्लेसेस आपने विजिट नहीं की वो आपके लिए हमेशा क्या होती है, कुछ मीन्स यू कैन से क्यूरियोसिटी होता है हमारे लिए कि वो प्लेसेस बहुत अच्छी होंगी, बट जब आप विजिट कर लेते हैं दैन यू व्हाट दैट, दैन यू डोंट हैव चार्म फॉर दैट. बट जब तक आपने विजिट नहीं किया तब तक आपका उसके लिए चार्म है, फैसिनेशन है. इन द सेम वे सोफी को ये लगता है, सोफी यूज टू फील दैट जॉफ what was enjoying his life and he was going to different places and all. Fine. So from here, perhaps there were also people exotic, interesting, people of whom he never spoke. It was possible, though he was quiet and did not make new friends easily. Okay, fine. So over here further she says over here what? Sophie imagined about her brother's personal life. She thought that her brother never spoke about his life, but maybe he knew some non-native people who were very interesting. Means she always imagined what? That about her brother's personal life, that Joff knew some non-native people who were very interesting. Okay. Though she knew that her brother did not have many friends, although she knew very well that her brother brother did not have any interest in making new friends. Okay, she longed to them. Still, she desired to meet them. She wished she could be admitted more deeply into her brother's affection. Please underline this line. She wished she could be admitted more deeply into her brother's affection, and that someday he might take her with him. Fine. So this is the main reason. She wished she could be admitted more deeply into her brother's affection, and that someday he might take her with him. This is the main reason. That she always, sometimes, okay, not always, we can say sometimes she wished she could become close to her brother so that he would take her out with him. It is the main reason, because she would like to enjoy those places. Okay. So it is a basic reason of Sophie why she has developed liking for her brother. Fine. Now the father forbade it, and Job had never expressed an opinion. Okay, but she knew very well that her father would never allow her to do so. Okay, and she knew he thought her too young, and Job had never expressed an opinion. She knew he thought her too young, and even her brother considered her not big enough to go outside. And she was impatient, but she was growing impatient and wanted to go outside. Okay, and wanted to go outside as she believed. Please note down. And she was impatient. She was conscious of a vast world out there waiting for her. See over here, she believed. Sophie believed means in her imagination. She lost in her imagination. यहाँ वो अपनी imagination में खो गई है और वो इस चीज़ को उसने माइंड में सेट कर रखा है कि जो दूसरा वर्ल्ड है, कौन सा, जो रिच सिटी पीपल हैं या रिच पीपल हैं, वहाँ की जो लाइफ है वही उसको सूट करती है. मीन्स उसने पूरा इमेजिनेशन ड्रॉ कर लिया अपने माइंड में और वो वहाँ तक अपने आप को फिर क्या करती है, अपने आप को मूव करती है, ड्रैग करती है अपने भाई के साथ में. वो इमेजिन करती है कि शी वॉज सिटिंग बिहाइंड हर ब्रदर ऑन द मोटरसाइकिल, हर ब्रदर वॉज ड्राइविंग मोटरसाइकिल. वो सब कुछ इमेजिनेशन करती है एंड ब्रदर वॉज जस्ट वॉट डूइंग, brother was busy in what, repairing the motor part. Okay, so see over here, what did she imagine? And she was impatient. She was conscious of a vast world out there waiting for her, and she knew instinctively that she would feel as at home there as in the city which had always been her home. It expectantly awaited her arrival. She saw herself riding there behind Job. He wore new, shining black leathers and she a yellow dress with a kind of cap that flew out behind. There was the sound of applause as the world rose to greet them. Fine over here. So she imagined herself riding with Job, okay, and she imagined Job wearing a shiny black jacket, fine, with a black jacket, and she wearing a yellow dress, beautiful yellow dress with a stole, okay, dupatta, with a kind of a cap with a stole flying behind her as they would what that ride on the bicycle. She dreamt over here, please note down, write down, I think that you have to write down over here. She dreamt that people stood up to welcome her by clapping when she rode with her brother. So she imagined all these things, okay, because she was growing impatient and wanted to go outside. And as we know very well that Geoff was busy in repairing that motorcycle, some part of the motorcycle. So she became impatient over there, and then she imagined herself behind sitting beside Geoff, who was riding bicycle. She imagined, just imagination. So I have already explained you in my first video that Sophie is a daydreamer, always lost in her dreams of becoming rich, though in reality her future is reserved at biscuit factory. So it is the habit of Sophie to lost in daydreams. Now see how she is going to disturb. Now see how she is going to disturb Job, like this way, okay. See over here. He sat frowning at the oily component he cradled in his hands, as though it were a small dumb animal and he was willing it to speak. बेचारा भाई जो है वो कहाँ बिजी है. हर ब्रदर लुक annoyed at the oily part of the motorcycle that he was handling, because it was not easy for him to repair it. So Geoff looked very annoyed, okay, and he was trying to make it work. Means it were a small dumb animal. ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कोई गूंगा जानवर है, उसको वो बुलवाने की कोशिश कर रहा है. How? Means in the same way he was repairing that motorcycle part. So he was trying to make it work, but all his attempts were wasted, okay. And suddenly Sophie disturbed her new, you can say, with her new imagination, okay. So Sophie disturbed Geoff like this way. I met Danny Casey, Sophie said, and I would like to mention over here that Danny Casey is a famous football player, okay, and and everyone, he is, you can say, stardom, okay. Everyone appreciated him very well because he is doing great in football. So and moreover he belonged to Ireland. So Sophie's family also belong to आयरलैंड, ओके. ये जो पूरी फैमिली आयरलैंड से, और जो डैनी कैसी है वो भी आयरलैंड से ही बिलोंग करता है. सो व्हाट डिड शी डिस्क्लोज? आई मेट डैनी कैसी, सोफी सेड. ही लुक अराउंड एब्रप्टली. वेयर? Sophie said that she met Danny Casey, a famous football player. Her brother suddenly looked at her and asked her where she met him, because Danny Casey, everyone has, you can say, some kind of charm, okay, some kind of charm for Danny Casey is there, okay. So in the arcade, funnily enough, she said that she was in a gallery while coming back from school, okay, when she saw him. It's never true. Geoff did not believe her and asked, it's never true, I did too. No, I did. Sophie said that she did. You told Dad? Okay, so Job asked if she told this to their father. She shook her head. Please underline, she shook her head, just at his unawareness that he was always the first to share her secrets. Okay, fine. She did not, she nodded. Okay, उसने अपनी गर्दन हिलाई, and she did not approve of her brother's question, as she wanted to say that he must know. He must know. Who? Job must know. Job must know that he is the only one with whom she shared her secret. So she began her story. Means she would like to get the attention of her, confidence of her brother, that Job is the only person with whom she share her all secrets. Okay, so she began her story over here. How did she meet Danny Casey? I don't believe it. Job said that he did not believe on the story. Fine. There I was looking at the clothes in Roy's window when someone came and stood beside me, and I looked around, and who should it be but Danny Casey? So she began her story that she was at the Roy's boutique and was looking for some dresses when somebody came and stood behind her. She turned and found him to be Danny Casey. All right, what does he look like? Her brother then asked her what? All right, her brother asked her about his appearance. Okay. Oh, come on, you know what he looks like. She told him that he had green colored, gentle, close to, I mean. Oh, come on. She turned, okay. She means what that. Then she described what? Danny Casey's appearance over here. फिर उसने उसको Danny Casey के appearance को describe किया. She told him, while he has green eyes, what? That he had green eyes, green colored gentle eyes, and he has not so tall as you had what, as you would think. Means she told him that he had green colored gentle eyes and was not as tall as she thought him to be. She wondered if she should say about his teeth, but here she did not say anything about Danny Casey's teeth, but decided against it. Fine. So now we would see in our next video that what was the conversation, what was the conversation among family members when they would get united in the in that room where the family means you can say had Sophie's father would sit, then Job and Sophie would join over there, and their mother Sophie, Job and Derek's mother used to busy in kitchen. We would see in our next video. Okay, thank you. Up to here, please go through the chapter from and it's my suggestion to read the pages 77, 78, 79 and 80. And you all have my WhatsApp number, and if you any one of you feel any query about this chapter, then you can ask me, send me message on the WhatsApp. Okay, fine. 12th, I would like to say you one more thing. In every video I'm I'm telling you that don't waste your time. So it's my advice, don't waste your time, and I know very well that you are not wasting your time. Please use it wisely, do your work. Okay, complete your work in your notebooks, so that when school gets open, at that time you will not you will not feel at that time busy with doing work and all. Thank you. Have a nice day.